welcome to Matchday Live here on LUTV, where we're building up to the final 12:30 home game of the season. Preston North End are the visitors, and Michael Bridges and Stuart Dallas are our guests today. How are we doing, lads? Lovely day for it, isn't it?
Great to be here. Sun is shining. Elland Road pitch looks absolutely incredible behind us. It's like a carpet out there. No excuses. Looking forward to this one.
Bridgie, have we recovered from the craziness that was Tuesday night?
It was mad, wasn't it? I mean, the result itself was absolutely magnificent, no doubt about it. We needed that result. I did fancy us. I thought Middlesbrough was a good game for us, and results went our way. It's about backing it up now, because Burnley got the result last night. They've gone back top. It's about us coming here and putting on a performance once again and going back to back.
Yeah, Bridgie's right, isn't he, Stu? That game against Middlesbrough and that result really did come at the right time for us, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I think, obviously, the run that we'd been on wasn't great, let's be honest about it, but I always thought the game against Middlesbrough would have suited us better, simply because they play a bit more football, and I don't mean it disrespectful to Luton, but it was, you know, Luton's tight pitch and fighting for their lives. So I always thought that the game at Piroe would have suited us better, and we've gone there and we've obviously scored 3 good goals and come away with a good result, and that's a huge confidence booster for them, because there's been questions asked of them. People would have been looking at that game thinking they could possibly not pick anything up, but you know, it was a big performance from them.
Do you know what I was pleased with, Stu, the other night as well? The 2 goals that were disallowed, that shouldn't have been. For the offside, we didn't let that affect us.
Yeah. And
the lads carried on and got the performance. I thought we showed great resolve as well in getting that done, and not feeling sorry for ourselves.
Yeah, they dug in, despite what would have been deep frustration at that.
Yeah, massively.
Look, Bridgie, Paul Heckingbottom's Preston have only won 3 games away from home, but they're a tough side to break down. This isn't going to be an easy battle today, is it?
No, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a lot easier if we get an early start and break their defensive down and get the early goal. I watched them in the FA Cup as well when they were playing, and their last FA Cup match, the first half of them defended absolutely magnificently. Everybody back behind the ball. It's really hard to break the lines down in Paul Heckingbottom's team. Keeps everything nice and narrow and compact and doesn't allow a lot of space. Now, that is what we thrive on. Once that deadlock is broken, that's when you know you've got the upper hand, and that's what happened. They conceded 3 goals in the end in that day. So it's an early start and nice, just to make sure then their shape has got to come a little bit more disjointed and open. But I don't think it's going to be a tight game, this one.
I don't think they'll come just to sit in either. I think they've got a bit of a gap between the bottom, haven't they? They've 7 points, I think it is, above Real. But I think they'll come and have a bit of a go. I think they'll come and they'll play with an aggression and energy and try and get after Leeds a little bit, because I think they've done that.
You know Hecky, don't you? Obviously.
Yeah, obviously I know him from being here, but I just have a feeling that they'll come and give it a bit of a, because when we played at Preston, they sort of come after us a wee bit, didn't they? And played. I know their goal was a great counter-attack,
wasn't it? Yeah.
But they played with an energy, and I think they'll do much the same today, because if they do sit in, it's just playing in the Leeds' hands, really.
Mm-hmm. Do we have to be careful and a little bit cautious, Bridgie, given recent results today?
No, the emphasis, we're at home. It's a lovely afternoon for football. We've got that big win midweek. Everything went in our favour, and I think the confidence that was generated from that, the momentum that we should have taken it into this game as well, at home. It's just honestly, the lads, the thing I miss about playing football is afternoons like this, when you know that you've got a chance of the title, you're in contention for promotion. The field is immaculate. The fans, there's just a vibe around the ground when I was walking in. I just love these afternoons, and these are the ones that I miss. But you've got to turn up and make sure that you're professional, the right attitude and discipline to back it up. And you know, we shouldn't be fearless of Preston North End having a shocking run. I think it's 1 win in the last 8 matches. So form guide is all about us. The only people, what is it that Bridie was saying?
Said on
yeah,
here.
Bridie says the only thing that'll defeat us today is us.
Very true. Look, at the end of that game, we heard Daniel Farke, Stu, talking about Alton Arkham and saying that he was in tears, saying, you know, in essence, that he's empty, he's got nothing left. How do you, with 5 games left of the season, dig deep and find that bit of energy to just keep going?
It's a mentality thing for me. Is, you know, these players have got, and I'm speaking from experience, you've got the best recovery systems in place. Till I'm sure they didn't do much training from the midweek game, that have been looked after really, really well. And Tanaka has played a lot of football. He's had a lot of travelling, obviously, throughout the season with the international breaks and stuff. But you're within touching distance of something really, really special at this club, and he only has to go and look at you know, the videos and the celebrations of when we went up the last time, and that was during COVID.
Yeah.
And that should spur him on. But I have no, obviously games do take a lot out of you, but you know, when you're winning and you're playing for something, it's just it's a matter of mind, I think.
And running on adrenaline, I guess.
Running on adrenaline, yeah.
Well, look, lads, we'll talk about team news very shortly, but first, let's get the thoughts of Joel Piroe.
Well, Joel, big game today. Everybody ready for it?
Yes, we're definitely ready for it.
What's the feeling in the group just at the moment?
Well, we all have a good feeling about it. We are energetic and looking forward to like the last games of the season.
Do you feel a pressure, or are you enjoying the situation?
Yeah, we are very much enjoying the situation. Of course, there is pressure, but that's part of it.
And you know that Burnley have won their game last night. Does that add to the knowledge of what you have to do today?
No, to be fair, it doesn't change anything for us. So we just want to go out and win a home game.
And the fans will expect, against Preston at home, that you do that, won't they?
Yes, they will definitely expect us to win, and we just have to work hard to make it happen.
Joel Piroe there, a man of few words, but all very positive. Look, let's talk team news, shall we? Because there's just one change. We know Dan James has obviously suffered an injury. So Willie Gnonto comes in for him. We're thinking on the right, so like for like. Not his natural position, Bridgie. No. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't mind it. I think any team that has Willie Gnonto in it's an exciting player that I love watching as well. He's made impacts from the bench. He's been influential when he started the game, so he gets his opportunity. And I don't think Willie cares whether he's playing left side or whether he's playing as a 10 or on the right-hand side. I think he's adaptable. What I will say, I think he's going to see him drifting a lot more on the inside. DJ would tend to see go on the outside, on the right. We might see him just drifting in alongside, just to get the little link-up play with Aronson and Joel Piroe, and looking for the little give and goes, and I'm hoping that we see his name on the score sheet. Fingers
crossed, eh? Look, before we continue to look ahead to today's game, let's just have another look back at that Middlesbrough game, shall we? Because it was a different kind of win, that wasn't it, Stuart? It felt as though we had to dig in and defend right up until the end. Does that almost stand us in good stead for the remainder of the games of the season?
Yeah, I think it should do, but I think we had to use a lot more energy than what we needed, simply because of the goals that was disallowed. Yeah. It should have been a lot more comfortable towards the end of the game, so emotionally and physically they'll have used a lot of energy, but it was a fantastic win for them. Obviously got off to the perfect start, as we see there, with Dan getting a goal, and I was doing the game on Sky actually, and you know, they were talking about the desire and the hunger to go and make things happen, and DJ shows it perfectly there. Look at him sprinting and the distance he makes up to get in, and it's a great ball in, and you know, he just needs to get something on it.
Everyone really played their part as well, didn't they, Bridgie? The subs. What did you think of Patrick Bamford?
I thought Patty was absolutely outstanding when he came on. Not only did he deserve the goal that was disallowed because of the movement that or the timing of the run from one end of the field to the other. He was full of energy because he came on. Not only that, he was defending as well. He made some brilliant tackles later on in the game to keep the ball in our favour and keep possession. So I was impressed with him. Caldolo in goal. I thought his experience was absolutely magnificent. The way he time wasted towards the end, the way he dominated his box as well.
Pat's goal comes from Darlow as well, doesn't it? Coming and winning
the counter-attack from one end of the field. So there was big moments in that game. Obviously, with this Lions official, he should be not getting one of our games for the rest of the season, because it's not the first time it's happened in one of the games. I don't mind speaking my mind out, because I thought these two decisions are absolutely terrible. But I love the resilience and of what the lads showed, the desire. However, the worrying side about that game was that there was a lot of chances that Middlesbrough did get, and on another day, if Bergsober had his shooting boots on, they might have found themselves with a couple of big opportunities. So I think that's one thing we've got to tighten up today, not allow the opposition as many chances as we did in this game.
Look, we can see this the Bamford goal that was ruled offside here. But Stuart, how do you take a performance like that and move forward with it now into the remaining 5 games?
I've said on here before as well, I don't think tactics or anything at this stage of the season it really matters. This team knows what they need to do to win games. They know what's at stake, but they'll take a lot of confidence from that. I thought that, you know, these counter-attacks here looked like Leeds of, you know, a few weeks back when they were blowing teams away. And Pat, he's been, even when he come on at Luton, I thought he was brilliant as well, and he could be the key till this running.
I was going to ask you that actually. How important could he actually be for these final games?
I think he can be huge, and I've been sort of saying for the past few weeks, because I know he's been back training really well, and he seemed to, when he's come on, he seems to have played like a player who has a point to prove as well.
He's not sulking, is he?
He's not sulking, no, and he's playing like he's... And a fit and firing Patrick Bamford in this league's as good as anybody, in my opinion. I know some people will have their arguments about that.
Yeah, but you know him, you've played him, you know what he possesses, mate.
Yeah.
And you, like you say, I think in that position, going forward the rest of this season, when he's doing the Luton performance, when he's doing the Middlesbrough performance, he's not sulking.
And just experience as well, Bridgie. You know, he comes on the other night, and to be able to hold on to the ball, he actually lost it, he won it back. He slid into the tackle, he still with good feet work, got a wee bit lucky, but then even his, you know, his awareness and his calmness just to play a through ball, and at this stage of the season that's crucial, to be able to see games through, and you know, he could be a key in this running.
He's really seizing his opportunity, isn't he? Well, look, it's less than 20 minutes to go until kick-off, so let's head outside, shall we, and catch up with our commentary team, Bryn Law and Tony DeRigo.
5 to go, back at Elland Road. Another big game. Team news first. One change.
Yes, Dan James, unfortunately, we know his injury. So in comes Gnonto. And I think that's a good change as well, because Gnonto played a course at Luton Town. He played at the number 10 position. Difficult game to play for him to come in and really produce. Didn't have his best game, but I think out on the wing, at home, he has a bit to prove as well. I think it's a good game for Gnonto to come into.
Now then, Preston North End as opponents don't lose many, but kind of mid-table. You've got to see what the motivation's going to be like today. It's a game that the home fans will expect that Leeds win, surely, isn't it?
It always is, and there lies the problem. I've been out there on the pitch. It is beautiful. The sun is shining. It's a wonderful day. And imagine coming here as an away team with really nothing riding on it. You know what? I'm going to relax. I'm going to give it a good go. So I think there'll be difficult opponents. You know, we have to be aware of that. But at the same time, they're 30-odd points behind us. There's a reason why they are where they are, you know, and we're near the top. So we have to go out and show that, respect them, and just play the game. Nothing different. Just go out there and give everything.
Snakes and ladders ongoing at the top of the championship table. So Leeds slipped back to second after last night's result. Does that change anything today?
No, not at all. And it's important it doesn't. And it's also important that we don't try and do anything different in the last 4 or 5 games either. Just exactly what we've been doing in preparation, in the way we approach games, and go in there and just look at the next game that's played. And at the moment, it's Preston. Doesn't matter what anyone else does. We go there and get those 3 points.
Is there a need for calm, cool heads, perhaps, as well?
Absolutely. And that's what now it's all about. We saw at the end of the Borough game where Tanaka was in tears. You know, that emotional ride that the players are going through. They're feeling it. It's really difficult, but you're trying to lessen that. So Daniel Farke has been very good at that, to try and just say, well, no, everything's just the same. Like, ow, why are you crying? In that, we know why, because it is so important to these boys. They're a great bunch. They're a strong group, but just relax and go out there and just perform.
There you go. Perfect pre-match message from Tony DeRigo.
He's absolutely right, though, isn't he, Bridgie? You know, it is about looking at it and going, right, well, we're nearly there. Yeah. But you can understand and appreciate Outenarka getting so emotional, because it feels like it's within touching distance, but you know you've still got so much to do. And when you look around at how finely poised it is, the promotion race, you know, with Burnley winning last night against Norwich, and we know that Sheffield United are playing Plymouth today, there has to be an element of that weighs on you as a player.
You've got to look at the background of different cultures. You know, we're getting players from all around the world. These people have different cultures, different emotions, different things that they go through as well. And after the Middlesbrough game, I saw him, he just collapsed on the field afterwards because he'd absolutely given everything in that game. And how the magnitude of that result, the new, was a massive, massive result. And what I love, I think, Tony, there's 2 things that I've taken from today. Stewie's mentioned it. The lads know exactly what tactics we play now. They've been embracing it under Daniel Farke for a long time. So the tactics, like Stewie says, you know that's ingrained in you now. It's about, for me, the mental attitude and the desire of going on to embrace the opportunity to want to be champions. And Tony's mentioned something there along with Bryn, the culture. I've played in champion-winning teams at several different clubs, Sunderland, Carlisle. The culture that we had was magnificent. It was healthy. There was a togetherness. Stewie's experienced it when he was here with Bielsa, and I see it in this group of players as well. There is something that the lads have generated, and that comes from the staff. You've got to follow your leader and the staff, and these boys have embraced it, and I think that's the healthy thing that can get us over the line.
And the one consistent as well throughout every season is the fans here at Elland Road. We know what a fortress this place is. How important is it going to be, Stuart, that we win our remaining 3 home games?
Yeah, that's always been the message from the start of the season, is to try and win as many games here as possible. We know that teams don't enjoy coming here simply because of the atmosphere, and that really helps you as a player. You know, you start the game really well, the crowd's right behind you, and then on the flip side as well is when you go into the 70, 80, 85th minute or whatever and you're needing a goal, the crowd really push you on as well. So home games are important. You know, we're looking with 3 home games left, and if we can get 3 wins there, I think we won't be far away.
Job done.
Oh, it's making me nervous. As a player, Bridgie, do you change your approach at all at this stage of the season? Do you play the percentages a little bit more?
No, I think your game management has got to be spot on. You've got to understand when. I think we talked about, obviously, Darlow the other night being the experience, slowing play down, known game management, Patty coming on, holding the ball up in a different style rather than going on a counter-attack all the time. There's all these things that have got to go into knowing when game management is due, when you're chasing a game or when you're winning a game. And I think there's no doubt these players are fit. There's the desire there, there's the quality there. It's about, I mean, this is a dangerous thing and it's an incredible thing to mind. And if we get the right mindset and understand the game management, we should breeze this.
It's extremely powerful, isn't it? Look, Stuart, if you were playing in this side now, what would your message be to get over the line to your teammates?
I would just be, and this is funny you asked that, because I texted a few of the boys the other night before the game, and just to remind them of why they're in this position, because they're a good team, and that would be my my message is, you know, just believe in themselves, believe in what they've done all season to get to this point. And honestly, I think, speaking to a few of the lads, I think last week it was almost like they needed to have a few talks among each other, and it sort of brought everybody together. And it's almost like, and it happened to us when we were going for promotion, we had to lose everything before we actually realised what we had. You know, we lost a 14-point gap. I think it was 14 points, you know, Forest and Brentford before going on to win the league pretty easily. So it's almost like you have to lose that till
hit the reset button.
Hit the reset button. The reset button was Monday night. They've got the win. So just play on the front foot, and everything will be fine. I'm positive.
Famous last words, Stuart Dallas. Yeah, it will be fine. Look, let's hear from the boss then, Daniel Farke. He's been speaking to the media, giving his thoughts about today's game and a recent conversation he's had about match officials.
Well, I had a telephone call with Kevin Trent. Good call. I won't speak too much about it in public, because I think that would lack a bit of class if I would now speak in public about what we spoke about. But the call was definitely good, and both of us, we hope for good performances at the weekend. So I hope for good performances of my players and my team, obviously, and he hopes for good performances of the persons he's responsible for, and fingers crossed that works out. In professional football, you always have something to play for, each and every team, and it's always difficult to interpret something. Yes, I always speak about that, to play against a team who is really desperately fighting against relegation is sometimes difficult, because this type of teams quite often play with a knife between their teeth, and they know they have to do everything to survive. But also a team who has perhaps even a bit less pressure. So, like I said, there's always something to play for and always pressure to represent the club in a perfect way. And with a perfect run in, they can achieve a lot. And also, like, if they don't win any point anymore, it could also be a tight race anyhow. So I expect that they will try to be at their best also tomorrow. And sometimes a team who plays with perhaps even a bit less pressure, with a bit more freedom and also bravery, they can deliver better performances. And Preston's definitely a dangerous side. They have a very experienced, very successful coach, also manager on this level. It's always a competitive side, difficult to play against them, and I expect a very difficult game. Also tomorrow, like always at this stage of the season, you always have to be on it. So I wouldn't underestimate that they are perhaps not in the situation that they have the big pressure that they need to win this game in order to achieve a special position on the table. I think that makes them perhaps even a bit more dangerous, because once this side can enjoy themselves a bit more and play with a bit more freedom, I think they can be even better. And for that, we are pretty respectful.
Daniel Farke there saying he expects it to be a difficult game. And, you know, last time we met Preston North End over at Deepdale, it ended up being 1-1, with us forcing a late own goal 3 minutes into added time. They have been difficult games. They've not been an easy team to face for us, Bridgie. What's their mindset heading into this game today?
Preston's?
Yeah.
Well, there's two ways we look at it. I mean, I'm thinking, are they going to come here and set up really defensive and hard to break down, and look in the transition moments in the counter-attack like they did down at Deepdale to get this goal here against us? Because when we do put our full-backs forward, I think there's moments this season where a lot of teams have found a way to exploit us in that moment where you know, Firpo's bombed on or Bogle. That's just who we are, and that's the tactics that we do. We like to throw numbers forward. Or like Stewie was saying, is it going to be where they're going to think, you know, end of the season, we've got nothing to gain, nothing to lose, let's have a right good go.
I think they'll come and have a go.
And he'll have pride as well, won't
obviously,
he, want to come back here?
Yeah, of course, and they'll have to defend. All teams have to defend at stages too, but I think they'll come and they'll be positive, they'll try and be aggressive, they'll look for set pieces. You know, they're dangerous from set pieces. The lad up front as well, as my age, I like him, he's a good player, he's strong, he's a handful, yeah. And the wee right back, is it Kasler Hayden as well, loves the ball on, so he could be a threat down there right as well.
He's been all season, so he's somebody to watch, especially if we've got our full-backs going one way again. He's somebody that can exploit us.
Set pieces, delivery, Robbie Brady, decent delivery.
I'm hoping it's what Stewie's saying on the latter rather than the defensive side, because we'll embrace that more with our tactics against them.
Well, look, Junior Firpo says the team must capitalise on the momentum from Tuesday's win at Borough, and he's been speaking to LUTV ahead of today's game.
Junior, a busy period for you all. Talk us through the emotions of those last few days.
Well, I think obviously not everyone was happy, you know, with the game at Luton, but I have to say that the conditions were really difficult, you know, long pitch, dry pitch. They make it difficult for us, and it did work for them. But you know, we always take the positives, and for me, it was a valuable point. It's a valuable point because today we are top of the table because that point, you know what I mean. And after we went to Middlesbrough, tough game. We know they are a really good side with the ball. It will always be a really good game. And yeah, we start really good, then we defend really good as well. And we could have scored a little bit more, which we didn't for some reason, but it's not important now. We got the 3 points, and this is what it counts. You can see that in this team, everyone is chipping in. Everyone who comes in is doing his job. He is doing the best for the team, and I think this is the mentality that we need to have for the team to be successful.
There's also some fringe players that have been having to wait, be patient, be good squad players that are coming on for 10-15 minutes now, like Isaac, like Patrick, that, you know, are really digging in for you, and it's those moments in the trenches, I guess, where you can really get, you know, build that respect and morale.
This is what you need to be successful, you know. Obviously, not everyone can play. Just 11 can start the game. Just 5 can come on. And we have such a big squad, such a good squad. But it also helps, you know. You still have even some players that are not playing minutes and unbelievable players.
On to Saturday now. After, you know, those 2 away games we've mentioned already, you get to come back home and have a packed crowd cheering you on. That, you know, I'm as always, will give you a boost, but you have a target on your back, like everyone does, and it's up to you guys to try and handle it. It's going to be a tough game, but I'm sure one of you guys are really confident of winning.
Of course, we love to play at home. Check the weather. It will be a beautiful day, sunshine, good weather, 12:30, Elland Road. I hope 3 points. I cannot imagine for a better Saturday, you know. We will give our best, and I just hope to have a great day because I think next game is massive.
Junior Firpo's right there. It's very sunny, 12:30 kick-off. It's got all the makings of what could hopefully be a beautiful day, hasn't it, Bridgie?
The only thing that'll make it beautiful is the 3 points at the end of it, Emma. It can be as sunny as it wants. It can be as nice out there, but it's all about the 3 points.
Very quickly, because kick-off is just over 5 minutes away. Stuart, where do you see the key battles being today?
I think Joe and Ethan have got to look after Osmaj for a start. I think he can cause you problems. As I've already mentioned, Kasler Hayden on the right-hand side. You know, obviously we know Junior likes to bomb on, but you know, just not being caught out of position.
Switch on at set plays,
switch on at set play is a key battle as well. Yeah. So, but if we turn up and play on the front foot and play with the confidence, I'm hoping that we'll be okay.
Okay, well, it's the moment of truth then, lads. Stuart Dallas, your score prediction, please.
I'm going to go 3-0 Leeds.
Yes, I like that.
Positivity.
But no disallowed goals this time,
well,
yeah?
hopefully not.
Yeah.
I'm going to go stupid this week. I'm really, really confident, and it could totally backfire. I'm going to say 5-0.
Bridgie, that is bold.
I said it was going to be close.
Is anyone scoring a hat-trick?
I said it was going to be close early doors. I'm going 5-0. There you go.
Is anyone scoring a hat-trick?
No.
Okay. Well, look, we all love Leeds. It's ringing out here at Elland Road. It is a gloriously sunny day for a 12:30 kickoff. So it's time to head outside and hand you over to your commentary team this afternoon, Bryn Law and Tony Dorigo.
So here we are, 5 games to go, and all still to play for at the top end of the Championship table. Leeds United having slipped down to 2nd place as a result of Burnley's win against Norwich last night, have it in front of them to win here to make sure that